Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Bowen of Bowen Small Engine, and today I'm working on a 20 horsepower Kohler Courage. Now, if you've seen my videos in the past, you realize that I'm not a big fan of Kohler Courage at all, especially the single cylinders. I just happen to have a Kohler Courage here that's blowed up, but I had a request from a fella to, basically give him some idea as to where the breather read is in these small engines. I want to start off by telling everyone that the breather reads, you have to actually pull the valve cover off. In doing so, you may come across a gasket that looks like this. This is a cork gasket, guys, and it doesn't really properly seal. Kohler recommends that you use RTV in replacement of this gasket. And as you can see, this gasket over time, just because of the way it's been torqued, will get thin and start breaking apart, and you'll have massive oil leaks. You won't even realize it. As a result, I'm going to show you the other side of this motor. If you don't keep a good close eye on your oil level in these engines, this is what's going to happen. Ain't that pretty? So as I say, I really don't like these engines. In my honest opinion, they're piss poor. Probably the worst that I believe Kohler's ever made. I really don't know why that they throw these engines together and just push them out the doors, and poor people like you and me have to tolerate this piece of shit. But anyway, to answer the feller's question, I'm going to go ahead and get back into this video. First thing I'm going to tell you to do is remove the valve cover. This is your valve cover. Next, you'll have an internal piece to that valve cover. On the back side of this internal piece, you will see here is your breather reed. If this reed is dirty, warped, anything like that, guys, you can have an issue where the pressures will build up and puke oil out of this tube right here and back into your breather box, which in turn will just make an oily mess. Well, actually, it's really a gas oil mix, if you want the truth. 90% of the time when these reeds fail, it's due to the fact that basically you have a crankcase that's full of gasoline and oil mix. So I hope this helps the YouTuber that has the question about where the breather reed is. As I say, I highly recommend that you check your oil and gas mix. The reason I say oil and gas mix is because, like I said, your gasoline will actually make its way through the carburetor. If you have a faulty inlet needle and seat, it will flood the crankcase, it will mix, and as we all very well know, if there's too much oil in one of these engines, or should I say, too much volume of oil gas mix, the pressures build up and it pukes it out of the breather into your carburetor. And in most cases, you won't even be able to start the engine because, in truth, it'll flood the cylinder and you can't get it to turn over. Until next time, YouTube.